Well, hello, everyone. This is Bob Bittner with the Operate Intelligently podcast. And today, Tony is not with us, but I coaxed and coerced our editor-in-chief, our producer, Grace, to slip out from behind the computer screen and slide over into the chair next to me to co-host today. Well, so welcome, Grace.
Thank you. I am excited to be here, and I appreciate you letting me share the mic today.
Well, it's a great honor to have you, and we have some very exciting things in store for today. Very non-technical today, but very exciting and extremely important. Why don't you tell us about what's going to happen next week?
Yeah, we are super excited around here. World FM Day is coming up on May 16th, which is Wednesday. And this is a day just set aside by Global FM, I believe, to really just celebrate facility managers and all of the amazing work that they do to keep our facilities running, to keep us safe, to keep our communities growing. So it's really just a celebration of them. And obviously here at The Dude, celebrating FMs is super important to us, and one of the reasons why we do what we do. So on the marketing team side, we decided to send out a survey to employees to ask them, what do FMs mean to you, and just to hear their feedback about what these people mean to them and why they're thankful for their work.
Can I start off with one that I am? Because,
yeah, absolutely.
We often, when you're in sales and when you're in a company that you're selling to this market space, a lot of people just kind of say, well, they're potential sales opportunities or they're just clients. But to us, they're more than just clients. Yeah. They're friends.
Absolutely.
And we get very attached to our clients, and they no longer become clients, but they become our friends. Mm-hmm. And so today we're talking to our friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's one of the most exciting things that we can elevate our. And when anybody's called somebody a friend,
yeah,
that's a high honor, right?
Yeah,
and
I know for me in my position, one of my favorite things, even though I'm just a writer on the marketing team, one of my favorite things is getting to interact with the clients and to see what a day is like in their shoes and their challenges and how we can help them overcome them. And that's super inspiring.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So what did some of our other employees have to say?
So there were some really great things said. They make my work environment work. I love that they're kind of letting us do what we want to do. They're the masters at making it work and keeping it all together. They are innovative and creative. They take care of everyone else without asking for anything in return. I feel like that was a huge theme in all of these. Is just that sometimes we forget to thank these people. They do thankless jobs, and basically they're in the background, and so sometimes we don't even realize what they prevent or what they do for us. So it's great to have this day to actually get to thank them.
And oftentimes when they do their job really well, that's when we thank them the least, because they've done a really, really good job and nothing's going wrong. And I walk in and my room's comfortable and my lights are all on and my trash is empty and the vending area is full and I just feel comfortable at work, right?
Yeah.
And that just didn't happen. Right?
Sometimes you just don't realize what's gone on in the background for you to have the nice environment that you get to have. Another one this one was kind of interesting. Facility managers are like ninjas. When they do their jobs well, nobody knows that they are there. These men and women keep everything going and often go unrecognized for the hard work that they do. I'm glad that we have so many dedicated, talented, and passionate people who maintain the world around us.
That's really great. I like the phrase in there being like little ninjas.
Yeah.
My wife and I watched Ninja Warrior, American Ninja Warrior show, and they're like facility managers, or facility managers are like these ninja warriors, because they have to be so well trained, and those guys just train hours and hours and hours and hours to get up and do their job of going through this course, and it's just like a facility manager. And the big thing about that in comparison is they don't know what the obstacle's going to be, and they get to that course. And a lot of times there's something brand new there that they've never faced before.
Wow.
And they don't get to practice it, right?
Yeah,
They just get on that course and they go. And that's what happens so many times in facility management. We think we've got it all under control, then all of a sudden, this happened, and I've never had this happen before. Now what do I do?
Yeah.
How do I handle it? How do I survive? And it's a lot of times it has a lot more consequences than just falling in a pool of water underneath.
Yeah. I feel like when you talk to people, it's always interesting. The type of person who really loves being a facility manager enjoys that. Every day is different. I feel like my job is very different, but I enjoy that. I get to kind of jump around and do different things every day. But Bob, since you kind of come from this FM background, what is a day really like, or how do you deal with the unknown things that get thrown at you?
Well, you say it's unplanned, and it truly is. You never know what's going to happen. But if you have things under control, and if you've managed them well, you can fairly well understand what's going to happen. But then there's always the emergency that comes up. And I think one of the things that has always excited me about the profession that I chose was that it was very different. Every day there was something different, and always something to learn. And even to good health and good mental health, learning is important, right? Every day there were things to learn, new opportunities to understand, new technology that was coming out. We often think that the computer tech world, the software world, where a lot of new technologies come out, but in the facility management realm, there's just so much new technology that comes out, and every time a new technology comes out in IT, it usually affects the facility infrastructure and so forth, and how people respond to that. So, I think another thing is you're always on, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's you really, even though you go home, you go to your kids' baseball games, your grandkids' soccer games, but there's always that chance that there's going to be something happen. When I started out, it was pagers. The old pager would go off, and but now everybody carries a cell phone, and it's expected that a facility manager answer that phone when it calls.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the middle of the championship soccer game or you're sitting down to dinner, and that the phone would ring, and you understand that that's part of your job, that what you do.
And I mean, in some cases, and sometimes we don't even realize this, but it could be, life or death type of situation when you're talking about these big, assets and pieces of equipment, or, at a hospital, facilities like that. And I mean, a lot of our facilities, we don't even realize how safe we are just because of the things the awesome facility managers have done.
Well, I'll give you an example. Early in my career, I worked for Duke University Medical Center. And the university has a hyperbaric chambers, which is simulating deep dive scenarios. And they were in the process of setting a deep dive world record. I was part of that team from a facility standpoint, and I get a call one evening that, Bob, you've got to get here right now because the steam valve had stuck open, and these 3 simulated divers, which were actual people in these hyperbaric chambers, were cooking in there. And so fortunately it wasn't a big fix. The air compressor had gone off and a valve had shut the wrong direction, and we got it started back up. But those things, you can't say, well, let's just wait till tomorrow and we'll take care of that. You have to respond, and you have to do things a lot of times immediately.
Is there any secret to staying cool and focused that you think facility managers learn or get better at?
I think it's probably part of the personality of the makeup of the person that does that. A lot of us thrive on that kind of stuff, of handling those situations.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of times the excitement of repairing and fixing things, writing it and fixing it, is where we get a lot of our mojo. And then if things are all going all right, then, that's when it's really important for people to say, we really appreciate coming in every day, and the temperature's good and the lights are all on, and thank you. And that's really what we want to kind of put out there today, is don't wait to give all the accolades to your facility managers when something breaks and they come in and fix it, but on a regular basis, thank them for what they do. Leave a little note in the restroom for the custodians to say, hey, thanks for every day for keeping this place clean for me. And walk down to your facility manager's office and take the extra effort. And I would say that it means more if somebody were just to walk down, hand them a card, and say thank you, or here's a Starbucks card for always making sure that our building is in good condition, the trash is emptied, and things are taken care of, as opposed to just shooting them an email. Put a little skin into the game, right? Walk in and say, here's a card, even if it's just a handwritten note saying, thanks so much for what you do. We all appreciate those kind of things, right? And your facility manager does as well.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I feel like since I started working at the Dude a couple years ago, I'm much more aware of these things that are going on behind the curtains or behind the scenes. I think even for me, just in a very small thing that I try to do is when I'm using the restroom and someone's cleaning the restrooms, just saying thank you to them, or just anyone you see who's kind of helping keeping things running, because we don't think about it. We're kind of just thinking about our own day, but it is really important to be able to give that gratitude to these people who really dedicate their work life to making life better for us and work better for us.
Right. I mean, we're the title of this is World FM, or Facility Manager Day, facility management, but there's a lot of people under that director or manager that make all these things come together and happen in such a beautiful way, and thanking them and just recognizing them, because a lot of times they feel unappreciated and not recognized. And my experience has been most of them don't want a lot of big public recognition. They don't like public recognition of things, but they do like to know that they're appreciated.
Yeah.
And so find little ways of doing that. So I know we're talking to a lot of facility managers here today, but it's important that we understand what they do.
Are you looking for a way to get inspired about your work as a facility or operations professional? Join us at our annual Maintenance and Operations Conference, Dude University in San Diego, March 18th through the 21st. You'll be able to attend educational sessions about your day-to-day work, meet professionals from across the country who work in your and other industries, and enjoy the sunny 70-degree days in San Diego. Learn more and register online at university2018.com.
I ran across, I was looking at some things and getting in preparation for this podcast, and looked at some of the tasks and responsibilities. And, let me roll out the scroll.
Yeah, seriously, that's a long list.
I mean, there's a long list here of things that we think of a facility manager as just out fixing things, right? But developing and implementing a facility management program, conducting and documenting facility inspections, coordinating office moves, obtaining quotes from vendors and following up on vendors' work, just to name a few of them, verifying payments and invoices. Wow. Oh, that used to be the job that I hated, was verifying invoices and approving them. The budget, getting after the budget so much, advising and monitoring of energy and energy inefficiencies, and making presentations to executive teams or boards or whatever on the work that they did, trying to sell their story, the need for, it's just, the list goes on and on and on about all of the things that are required in that everyday job. And I know that a lot of people have a lot of different responsibilities in their jobs, but I don't know of any job that has the breadth of areas of responsibility and dabbling in that a facility manager. Everything from finance to end products going out the door, or patients or students or whatever, they have a responsibility. And the list is long, and we could go on and on. Safety and health, and even to the point, many of them mailroom activities and cleaning and mail delivery and all those things. The list just seems endless.
Yeah, I feel like these men and women have to be a jack of all trades in a way, like you're saying. They have to sell their story. They not only have to fix things, they have to budget. Like, there's a lot of specialties that they have to own.
And I didn't even mention in there about fixing anything, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we often think about as facility management is things are broken and it's got to be fixed. And so all the things above and beyond that just are, I need a whiteboard put up, or I need my monitor's not working. Please help me. The power's off, whatever. Come fix it now. So it's just a lot of responsibility that goes along with it. And with that, what does it take to be a facility manager? What kind of background? And a lot of times, you'll see in a lot of different educational requirements. A lot of our facility managers have worked their way up through the trades, we've had some of our most outstanding facility directors in the education start out as custodians and work their way up through. But if you just say, I want to get somebody raw and new, here's the requirements I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for a master's in business administration. I'm going to look for an undergrad degree in chemistry and engineering and safety and all of these things, and in technology, all of these things, all of those experience touches the realm of facility manager.
It's a lot
and
expected of them.
It really is, and it's a lot to understand. And so, as we honor these folks that do it on a day in and day out basis, and as I travel around, I go to a lot of seminars, and we still have a lot of balding and gray-haired men that are in the organization. I'd love to see, and I think some of the best facility managers that I've seen that are coming new into the field are women. And I really would like to see a lot more women involved, because I think that they bring an eye, they bring a sense to it that sometimes us men don't bring to it. And so, I want to recognize that this is not just a man world out there, and encourage any women that are thinking about this area, that it's a rewarding, and I think they can make a tremendous amount of contribution to organizations as facility managers.
I think it's been neat to see at Dude University at our annual operations conference. I've been around the last few, just to see the increase in women and their participation. And we are all important, to this career, and I think everyone has something really neat to offer as well.
So I just want to. We talked a little bit today, kind of the breadth of all of this, and but just to stop for a moment, just stop and say thank you. We appreciate what you do every day. Maybe people don't say it, but we recognize it, we understand it, and we know a lot of you don't want big plaques and maybe you would like a new car or a new truck delivered to you as an award. But, we just want to thank people, and we appreciate so much the facility managers. And I'll kind of go back to where we started on this and my feeling about this. We appreciate so many of them, and so many of you out there that are listening to us that we call friends. And we give you that title and that honor because we truly value our relationships together and what we can do together. And we really hope that we can contribute some things to you that make your job a little easier, give you some resources that make things a little easier. And that's one of the things that we've tried to do with this podcast, is try to give some resources that help let them think about some things differently and give them some help and just understand and recognize who they are and what they do for us on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely. I just want to second what you said, Bob. We are just so thankful. And also, since I'm on the mic today, if you ever want to email us with ideas or comments about the podcast, you can absolutely do that. We'd love to hear from you. It's dspodcast@dudesolutions.com. And then as well for World FM Day, throughout the week, we've got a couple blogs that we're pushing out with some more of these employee quotes and some other things. So you can go to our blog. That's dudesolutions.com/blog. And it's just been a pleasure to be with you, Bob. And I love this topic, and I love getting a chance to be grateful for people, and so I hope all the FMs out there feel very appreciated.
I hope so as well, and thank you for sliding over in this chair today and being part of the show.
You're welcome. It was fun.
Have a great day.
You too. Thank you for listening to the Operate Intelligently podcast. Subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts, leave us a review, and you can even email us at dspodcast@dudesolutions.com.